So I am doing another live. Like I said I would. I was going to try. And since yesterday went pretty well, I decided to go ahead and do it again today. So, yes, I'm stuck in traffic, like always. It's a good time. I realized to go live and talk about whatever's on my mind. Thank you guys for watching. I appreciate it. Like, I saw there's so many people watched yesterday. Oh, I'm doing it again today. Okay, so what's on my mind today? First, I'm stuck in traffic, so yeah, so there's that. And I'm stuck in traffic every day. But I don't know if you guys saw the screenshots of Shaq commenting on the young women celebrities. In there, I guess the young women were doing lives, and he was leaving like comments on their lives. And here's the thing: Shaq is a Gen X person, and I'm also Gen X. Um, when I was growing up, there was dirty old men, a whole lot of them. There's always been dirty old men. As a young woman dealing with dirty old men, it was so gross and disgusting that older men felt completely comfortable ogling and, making inappropriate comments to young women. And it was socially acceptable. This is the problem. It was socially acceptable for men who were way too old to flirt with, or at least think they were flirting with, to make inappropriate comments, to ogle their bodies, to sexualize young women when they were old enough to be their fathers or their grandfathers or whatever. At this point, it's like society has made it, because of patriarchy, society has made it so that old men feel like it's perfectly okay for them to hit on young women. And it's not. Like, we've got to get to the point where we're like, it's not socially acceptable. Like, our generation, like Gen X, like we, Gen X, especially Gen X men, need to tell other Gen X men, it's not cool for you to hit on young women. Like, Shaq is totally out of pocket. It's not socially acceptable anymore. It's completely disgusting and inappropriate. Like, just ill, first of all. But the fact that he's like he it's not even hitting him that no, this is not okay. Like, he just hopping up watch. First of all, why are you watching these young women's lives? They're not for you. Like, you're an old man. They're not checking for you anyway. But why do you think, like, why are you watching? Like, I feel like that's weird because I wouldn't watch some 20-year-old, like a guy. I wouldn't be watching his lives. Like, it's just not my thing. Like, I wouldn't be sitting there at my age, my big age, watching some 20-year-old boys. Well, not boy, he's a 20-year-old young man, but I wouldn't even be interested. He's not going to say anything that's interesting to me, first of all. But the fact that Shaq is watching these young women's lives and then commenting inappropriately, again, just really weird behavior to me. But like I said earlier, our generation, when we were young, old men would hit on us. Old men would hit on us all the time. And it was like completely okay. Like, nobody checked the old men. And we had to deal with old men hitting on us. Now that we are the, older, the elders, we need to speak up and say, this type of behavior is totally inappropriate. And at your big age, Shaq, you don't need to be saying like these types of comments to young women. You need to be mature and understand that those women are not checking for you, that it's not appropriate for you to hit on them, that you're making them feel weird, that it's creepy, and it's just like, ew, just stop. The fact that we keep having, like, I get it, patriarchy has made men believe that at any age it's okay for them to hit on women. It's not. It's time for us to say, no, this behavior is no longer acceptable. Like, we have to get to a point in society where we have to say, because I get it. In patriarchy is always telling women how to behave. It's constantly telling women what we can do, what's appropriate for women, and what's not appropriate for women. But we don't do the same for men. Like, we don't do the same for men. But society's changing. Patriarchy is dying. So it's time for men right now to tell other men, hey, you're too old. If you're 50, he's 52, I think. 52 years old, you don't need to be hitting on a 20-year-old. You don't need to be watching her live and saying inappropriate things about her body. This is not okay. You're an old, creepy dude. And ew, like, stop. So, yeah, that was one of the things I wanted to talk about today. It's just, at what point, like, and the thing is, like, everybody, he's doing it open and publicly, and it's like, when are the men in our age group, like, when are the men in Shaq's age group gonna say, hey, bruh, like, stop? I don't understand. I mean, I get it. Like, patriarchy has lasted for so long because men are complicit in it. Even if they disagree with the behavior that men are displaying, it's very rare that you get a man who will actually tell another man that's not okay. Like, because socially, if a guy steps outside the group and protects women like you claim to, and says, "Oh, no, 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 this behavior is unacceptable," then the other men who are complicit with the patriarchy are, like, attacking him. So it's very hard. It's a lot of peer pressure on men to stay within the rules of patriarchy. And I get that, but patriarchy's dying. You guys got to step up. Like, it's just like how I feel about racism. Racism is not black people's problem. Racism is a white people's problem. Like, white people have to fix racism. Same thing with patriarchy. Patriarchy is a male problem, and men got to fix it. And that starts with men deciding, like, what behavior is appropriate and what behavior is not appropriate. And right now, Shaq is totally out of pocket. And fellas, y'all need to step up and tell him, stop. Like, you need to hit on women who are between the ages of 45 and maybe 55, somewhere in there. That's your range now. You go watch their lives and make those comments to those women. And they still may not like it, but that's where you need to be. You need to be over there in the, Gen X side. You do not need to be in Gen Z. Like, that's weird. That's weird. You gotta move to your section of the internet. So yeah, that was all my thoughts this morning. All right. The other thing that popped up this morning, and yeah, you see that I'm still pretty much in the same spot. I have not moved. I'm almost to the freeway, but there's so much traffic at my daughter's school. Trying to get out of the parking lot just to the freeway is just insane. I'm not there yet. All right. The other thing I was thinking about this morning, because I woke up to a bunch of emotional comments from men. Not that unusual in my life. I wake up to very emotional comments from men pretty much regularly. I mean, it's not every day, but it's nearly every day. Like, I don't know what, like, I get it. Like, I don't know what it is about me in particular that gets under the skin of men so much, but I know that I get under the skin of a lot of men. Usually mediocre men who are very insecure. Something about me triggers them. It's neither here or there. Anyway, so I woke up this morning because I made, I posted a thread yesterday, something along the lines of, men have a hard time with the fact that they're really not that important to women, and they're, it's not magical, because a lot of men, because of patriarchy, believe that women center our lives around them. Like, everything we do is for the attention of men. Like, a lot of men have a hard time understanding that what women do is not about them, and they're not that important to us. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm sure that there's plenty of women who have boyfriends or husbands or, family members we care about very much, but our lives are not centered around them. And I think a lot of men have a hard time understanding that, just women out here living, our lives are not centered around them. And then the other thing is that a lot of men think that their penis is magical. And you can see that, like, in women in relationships, they complain, like, if they get sick, the man is not catering to the woman's illness. Like, hey, do you need soup? You need to go to the doctor. They're literally like, oh, let's have sex. Like, sex is going to cure the illness. And that mentality is very much male. There are not women out there that are like, yeah, I got a cold, so let me just go have sex, and that's going to cure my cold. That's a male thing. And so a lot of men have a hard time with this. So that was my post. was a random thought. I have a lot of random thoughts. Usually I just type up my random thought, hit post, and go on about my day. Well, today that post is triggering a lot of men, and they're very emotional. And it got me to thinking, because sometimes when I get up, I'll read some of their statements. And it got me to thinking how society has really built this lie that women are the emotional sex. Because let me tell you something. I rarely, I've gotten female trolls over the years, but they're very few. They're very few. And don't get me wrong, like some women have been triggered by something that I posted. Usually they're the pick me women, and that's another issue for another day. But for the most part, the most emotional people who comment on my posts or my videos are men. They are so emotional. I mean, and the thing is, if you've lived as a woman, you have seen men lose it, have full out tantrums. Tantrums. They don't have any kind of emotional regulation. Tantrums. Grown men having tantrums. You've seen it. And they will still say that women are the emotional ones. I don't think I've ever seen a grown woman have a full tantrum. But I've seen a whole bunch of men have tantrums. Like a whole bunch. And the thing is, nobody says that's an emotional outburst, because men or patriarchy has relabeled anger as not an emotion. But anger is an emotion. Anger is definitely an emotion. Anger is an emotion that's rooted in pain. So really, it's just like you're crying. If you have a tantrum, you're basically crying. You're crying. That's you crying. Even though you don't think it's crying because you're raging or whatever, because you're angry, but anger is just release of pain. So it's like tears. So because women might cry, they might, often they don't, but if you're a man and you're having a tantrum, that's you crying. That's an emotional reaction. That is pain being released in one way or another. That's what that is. Okay, I finally made it to the freeway, y'all. And it's got traffic all over it. So this idea that somehow men are the logical ones, which you're not. If you think that you're more logical than women, you aren't. And I can talk about that all day. Just like when men say if they're the leaders. Again, I've watched women lead, families my whole life. But anyway, this whole idea that men are not emotional, and I mean, on top of that, they've studied babies, and I had this quote in my book from a study. Male babies are more emotive, which means they're more emotionally expressive than female babies. And I know that any woman out there who has sons and daughters can attest that usually sons are the more emotional of the two. But somehow this lie that women are the emotional ones. This lie is it's one of the worst lies I think patriarchy ever came up with. But the fact that men believe it is the crazy part. There are men out there having emotional outbursts on my post right now who would turn around and say that they are more logical than me, which is funny to me because I've seen it. I'm like, you're having a full emotional outburst on a stranger's post, but you're logical. It's crazy. Like if you, I mean, like I said, I don't know what it is, or I kind of have an idea what it is about me that triggers men so much, but it's still funny to watch these men like lose it on my post, and I'm a complete stranger. And if they knew how like funny I found it, I wonder if they would like continue, because I take it and make content out of it, and they still come for me, and they're just so emotional. Like right now, as I'm driving, and every now and then I glance at my phone, they are like responding to that post on Threads, which I'll probably take when I get settled after my yoga, because I don't know if it's connecting. I see it being funny, but I don't understand like the attempt to try to take women down, especially women who are clearly showing leadership qualities, who are talking about social issues, who are trying to make things better. Because I talk about these things, and I've been talking about them my entire life because I've been dealing with sexism my entire life, and it pissed me off as a kid. It pisses me off now. And I want things to be better for future generations of women. I want girls to know that they're not less than men. They're not here to be servants to men. They are here to lead the world. That's why I do what I do, because I grew up with a whole lot of sexist people, with a whole lot of men who thought they were smarter than me and they weren't, and it's infuriating to deal with people like that. So yeah, so I do this because it brings about social change, and I know that it does because I have been doing this for at least 2 decades, probably longer, and have watched things slowly change. They haven't changed a lot, but they are changing. So I know it's worth the time. But when men see, like the insecure men, the patriarchal men, the men see women like me, content creators out here, talking about social issues, talking about sexism, talking about patriarchy, and they always trying to humble me. It's like, you can't humble me. First of all, like, you're nobody to me. Like, you're not important to me. Nothing that you say is important to me. Your opinion doesn't matter. So for you to think that you can humble me is just crazy. Like, and it makes me laugh because, the men that attempt to insult me, and I say attempt, and y'all know I mean attempt because the insults are always so pathetic and sad. Usually are attacking my hair, which is always funny to me, to attack my hair and call my hair weave, because somehow, I guess I said in another video, you always hurl that at black women, one. And two, it doesn't mean anything. To me, you can call my hair fake all day. It won't make it fake. It doesn't change the facts. And the fact that you think that that is an insult, because even if my hair was a weave, it still wouldn't be an insult to me. So it's like, anyway, these fellas, these men, they're struggling. Some men are evolving. I do have men in my life who are evolved, and so I don't think a lot of men know that. Like, I think that I get called a man hater a lot, but I have quite a few male friends, which is funny, but whatever. But yeah, they think that they don't have to change, and men are gonna have to change eventually. They may not change right away. It may take decades, but men do have to change at some point to function with women, because the way things are going, these young women don't care about men like that. These young women are quite content living their lives without men, and they're quite content not having children. And the men are the ones that are desperate, which I said a long time ago. Like, as much as they tried to say women are the ones who are desperate for marriage, who are desperate for partnership, who are desperate to be in a relationship, it's always been the men. It's always been the men, because men are dependent. Society has made men dependent on women. And at this point, men are going to have to be independent men. That means you can't wait for a wife to come take care of you. You can't go straight from your mama's house to having a wife who takes care of you. You got to learn how to take care of yourself. You got to be self-sufficient. You got to know how to do things without being told. Like, that's just where society is headed. And, and again, like, there's a guy that left a comment on, he was upset that I said that men have to be likable. But you men have to be likable. If you're not likable, women are not going to fool with you. Women are not going to fool with you. Okay, so yeah, I made it to my gym. Yeah. But then I got to see if I can find a parking space. But yeah, men have to be likable. Men don't like the idea that they can't just have a job and get a girlfriend. And some of them don't even have jobs. That's the crazy part. Like, some of these men don't even have jobs and still think that women should rock with them. There are no spaces. There are no spaces at my gym. This is how popular my gym is. There are no spaces. Guys, I'm trying to go do yoga and I can't find. Okay, wait. I found one. Never mind. I'm being dramatic in the moment. Okay. But yeah, I'm here at my gym, and yeah, I'll probably keep doing this live thing because you guys are watching, and I appreciate you guys for watching. And like I said last time, yesterday, if there's a subject you want me to cover, and I see, oh my God, like, I just stopped and I see there's so many comments. Okay, I didn't see you guys' comments until just now. So yeah, what I'm going to do is I will probably continue to do this on several mornings out of the week. I don't know, just, usually, as you can tell, like when I drop my daughter off at school, there's a lot of traffic, so I have time to sit on live. So I will do this again, but like I said yesterday, if there's a subject you want me to make a video about, just tell me, and I'll make a video about it. Um, I'm gonna read all your comments when I stop, when I hang this up, because I don't want to read it while I'm talking to you guys. I really appreciate everybody watching. It's still odd to me that people watch these lives, but I appreciate your watching. I appreciate all the views that you guys have given to my channel. Let's see. I know a lot of women are not dating, but if you decide to date, make sure you check out my book. I still date. I don't date a lot, but I still date. And I enjoy dating, and that's what I wrote the book for women, so they could enjoy their dating experiences. Again, my book is about dating. It's not about relationships, and I say that right off the bat. I think the first 3 chapters of my book are up on my channel. It's on my membership side. I got to get up chapter 4, but try to get chapter 4 up this weekend. I was supposed to do it last weekend, but I didn't get to it. Let's see, what else is going on? I don't know. I'm gonna work. Like I said, I'm gonna go grab the comments off of that post I did yesterday, because I keep seeing the pop-ups come up on my screen. I'm gonna go grab those, and I'm gonna make a video about those comments today, because one of them was just so hilarious, and I have such a perfect reply to it that I absolutely have to. I have to make a video just based on that one comment. But I feel like the way the comments are coming in, because the men are being emotional, they're emotionally upset about something I said, which is like a regular thing. You get upset. I'm gonna go pull those, and I'm gonna make a video about it. And so I should try to have that up today. And so, thank you, appreciate you. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and try to get some stuff up today. So some videos are going up today after I do yoga, even with this wrist, which is healing. If you're wondering, it's getting better. It's not 100 yet, but I'm still doing my yoga because I got to do my yoga. So yeah, I'm gonna get those up to get one video at least up today. I might go live again tomorrow morning because yeah, I take my daughter to school every day, and I'm doing yoga again tomorrow. So might be live again tomorrow. So if there's something that you see and you want in the news or whatever, and you want me to discuss it tomorrow morning, just go ahead and leave a comment here. Or if you're not following me, I'm Kai Nicole on Facebook. I'm Kai Nicole on Twitter. I'm Kai Fly Mommy on Instagram and on Threads. So if there's something you're like, hey, you really need to talk about this, go ahead and send me a message on any of those platforms, and I will definitely talk about it tomorrow morning. So I'm probably going to go live tomorrow morning, if not Friday, but I'm probably going to go live tomorrow. Anyway, guys, I need to get in this gym so I can do my yoga. Thank you for watching. I appreciate all of you guys for watching. It's amazing that you guys watch. I'm really humbled by them. That you guys who support me, you humble me every day, because I can't believe you support me, and I appreciate it. It does make me a little bit misty that you support me, but I appreciate you all. Anyway, all right, let me go do this yoga, and peace, guys. And then I have to figure out how to turn this thing off, because I haven't quite figured it out yet. I don't, and look at me, I'm struggling, y'all. The struggle is real. All right, maybe that's it. Yes, I found it. Okay, peace, guys. Later.